Cowabunga, dudes! It's Corey from Super Comic Guru 9000, the best damn anime reviewing channel on YouTube. I also just happen to be a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My two favorite things from my childhood, of course, were Star Wars and, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo. And guess what? They're going to be returning to the big screen with a big sequel to their last movie. It's going to be called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Yes, it has the same name as that video game that was released a couple of years ago, and there is no relation. Now, I initially didn't even want to talk about this. I was going to be completely dismissive of this movie because I did not like the last one. I still believe that the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is the best iteration of the series, and I still think that it will continue to be just that. That being said, I just have to talk about this trailer a little bit, because if this did come out when I was like 7 years old, I would probably love it. I was going to do a reaction to this trailer, but I prematurely watched it, and I didn't want to fake my reaction, so I just want to talk about it and give my thoughts. So, this movie right here is a direct sequel from the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, and unfortunately the Turtles still have their same old, weird designs. They still continue to look like the bastard love child of the live-action Goombas and a cave troll. Now that I think about it, they're not too different from the live-action version of Doomsday in Batman vs. Superman. We also get to see that the Turtles are going to have the Turtles themselves do have some slight redesigns in that it looks like they're basically wearing more clothes. They're now wearing pants for some odd reason, and even some of them have shoulder pads like Raphael. The good thing is, they're still all distinctive looking and you know exactly who the characters are, so they don't look like weird, disgusting, mutated versions of already mutated things. So while I don't think the Turtles look all that great, what is cool is they do have some brand new gear in this trailer. There's a great opening shot where they have the Turtle Van, and it looks like they're going up against some criminals, which may or may not be the Foot Clan. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like they're trying to hijack a truck while it's in the middle of the road. So the Turtles come up in the Turtle Van, which can actually fire sewer manholes, just like the old toy from the 80s, which I think is very appropriate. And suddenly you start to hear Run DMC's Tricky, which at first I was like, I'm not really feeling it, but then I thought about it. This is basically like a live-action version of the original cartoon, which started in 1987, and what song was released during that year? Run DMC's Tricky. So the Turtles themselves are mostly the same. The other heroes that we get to see is the return of Megan Fox as April O'Neil, and I continue to just not give a shit. I don't care about her character in these movies at all. I don't go to the theater to see April O'Neil. I go to see the Turtles fighting in some other mutants. Hopefully her role is slightly toned down in this one, and big shocker, she's basically used just as eye candy. I could have sworn I saw her in a Catholic schoolgirl's outfit, because Ninja Turtles. We also get a few brand new shots of Casey Jones, a very different version of Casey Jones that we've ever seen. I'm not so sure about the character having a shaved head. I always imagine Casey Jones as being a little bit older, a little more rough around the edges. But at least he still has a hockey mask, his hockey stick, and he's deflecting pucks into the faces of foot soldiers. Oh Lord, we also get to see Tyler Perry playing Baxter Stockman in a very cartoonish fashion. Honestly, it works within the confines of this movie. There's also this fantastic shot which looks like all of these aliens or some sort of portal opening from another dimension. It looks like these things are going to be invading the city, very similar to a scene from the Avengers. However, this might be a clue to another big villain of the movie. This could very well be Krang, the Technodrome, and his entire army from Dimension X. I think that would be a great callback to the original series. Not only that, but we also get a brand new version of the Shredder. We don't get to see him in full armor, but we do get to see him with one of his gauntlets. He's being played by a completely different actor this time, and that's probably because this movie is not going to have constant rewrites and reshoots. But the reason you need to check out this trailer, the reason I'm even making this video in the first place, is because of Bebop and Rocksteady. That's right, we are finally getting live-action versions of these characters. The Rhino, the Warthog, they're here. And you know what? Outside of the fact that the CG looks kinda bad and the fact that it's probably not finished yet, they look perfect. They look exactly like Bebop and Rocksteady should. In fact, they literally look just like their old incarnations, like right down to the T. Especially Bebop. I love the fact that he has the purple hair and the mohawk, and even those old school 1980s distinctive glasses. if I were a kid, I'd be freaking out when I saw this. And what's even better is that these are not like the bumbling idiot versions of Bebop and Rocksteady. It looks like they're going to be a very big threat. There's a shot of Rocksteady actually running through all of these cars, chasing after Casey Jones, and just his size is knocking them all up in the air. There's a great shot, of course, of him actually grabbing onto one of the turtles and slamming them into a wall. We don't get to see too much of these characters, and I'm glad that they're holding off on them, but it was really great to finally see them. Now, I mentioned that they're not bumbling idiots, but I still have a feeling that they're going to have a lot of comedy to them. They might be taking elements from both the actual original cartoon series and maybe the brand new IDW comic, which, if you haven't read, check it out. It is freaking awesome! Frankly, I think both characters look absolutely perfect. The only thing is, they just have to work on some of the special effects. There are a few shots, in particular this one of Rocksteady, which just looks a little too fake in my opinion. That being said, this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's not Shakespeare. You don't go to this movie to have your life changed. You go to see a bunch of cool mutant superheroes fighting against a bunch of mutant villains. And it looks like that's what this movie is going to give us. An ultimate homage to the original 1980s cartoon, which, as fondly as I remember it, hasn't exactly aged all that well. But just like this movie, I think it's going to be a big ball of cheesy fun. So despite the fact that I was not looking forward to this sequel, I'm actually kind of excited for it now, if only for the prospect of seeing live-action versions of Bebop, Rocksteady, and Krang. It literally is like a real version of the old cartoon, but I want to hear from you guys. Have you had an opportunity to check out the trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, otherwise known as Out of the Shadows? If you have not seen it yet, I will put a link to that video in the description box below. That way you can check it out in its highest quality possible. I would love to hear your thoughts. Are you guys fans of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Did you grow up with the old cartoon? Maybe you're growing up with the newer one that's on Nickelodeon right now. That show is also a lot of fun. Maybe you're a fan of the one from 2003. Maybe you read the comics. Tell me why you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan in the comments below and what you want to see from the brand new movie. Thank you guys again for watching this video. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, cowabunga, dude!